Greetings, what's up, and a very warm welcome to the channel. The sun is shining, it is a properly glorious morning out there, and the Magpie is casting, coming at you guys right now with a live 1 versus 1 battle fresh from the ladder, featuring, spawning in the south, it is going to be the forces of that notoriously potent player, BartonPL. He's going to be playing, of course, here as the Overcommand West pieces, so we'll have to see what he's going to be able to do with that. Spawning up in the north, we're going to have a brand new player to the channel, one who I've not had the pleasure of casting before. It is going to be BreadMarshLivePlace. Not quite sure how he generated that name. I don't know if he just, you know, it looks like a random number generator tried to, you know, attack a dictionary or something. That is BreadMarshLivePlace. That looks like something I would see on a t-shirt in Japan or something. Alright, well, that's the name he's chosen for himself. I'm probably just going to call him BreadMarsh or something like that. Now, the map here is going to be Lost Glider. This here, I presume, the glider What is Lost. Now, this is one of the new maps in the pool. It's a community map created by Tohio or something like that, Tobio. Let's just have a little pan around, shall we? So it's mostly very open. A few good buildings, some significant line of sight blockers, such as this hedge, but not very many. This is one of the more open maps in the pool, so you know, things like Bren carriers and so forth can really get some work done. Kuba wagons too. Machine gun's going to be quite decent. Looks like there's a couple of dream houses. This church looks pretty dreamy. Yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see what this map is like. Now, I'm going to take this opportunity right here at the start of the video to apologise. I do have a slight cold at the moment. You might be able to tell my voice is just a little bit off. So I hope it's not going to interfere with the cast too much. I'll do my best to manage it. And of course, I do have a giant mug of tea here, which always helps. Looks like we've got our first scuffle underway as a Kuba wagon going to encounter some riflemen here. That's a fight that at this range it will handily do a lot of damage to these riflemen for very little in return. So the Kuba wagon here, very happy to take pot shots at these riflemen. Looks like they're going to start closing in, trying to use their Garand rifles here, but BreadMarsh going to think better of it and just hide them back here for now. We've got a little scuffle going on here. Look at the map, by the way. Barton, what? It's like BreadMarsh just decided not to capture any of it, or at least, you know, that's how it's come out looking. And look, Barton's actually taken the cutoff here, so like all of these things down here in the bottom right that that BreadMarsh has taken are not actually contributing him any resources. So Barton right now going into full-on monster mode right from the very beginning, as you would expect from him. Let's take a look at the composition here for Barton. He's gone for 3 of Volks and a Storm Pioneer, which of course you start with and a Kubel, so pretty standard stuff here. Oh dear, these Storm Pioneers going to get right onto these riflemen, and BreadMarsh pretty slow with the... They're jammed. They're jammed. Oh my goodness. Killing loads more of those riflemen than he had any right to there was Barton, because they were just kind of jammed. That was really unfortunate for BreadMarsh. This little geezer here is going to escape though. He's going to be able to tell the tale, spread the fear of the legend of Barton. Barton as well has opened up just about a 39-point ticket lead here, just off the back of just some random map dominance that he happens to have gotten with all his units. This is pretty devastating, actually. Look at the map. Like, how does Barton do this? BreadMarsh needs to be building more units, though. Why is he stacking, like, nearly 500 manpower? This is very strange. He's got 3 squads of riflemen. I mean, what's the... Why would you stack 500 odd manpower here? Very confused. That should really be a 4th squad of riflemen. Pardon me. That's just strange. He must have a plan for that. He must be waiting for Captain by the look of the amount of fuel he's stacking here. Kuba wagon here is going to get handily spit roasted by 15 riflemen. Never what you want. So Barton is going to lose the little scout car here, and that's a nice pickup here for BreadMarsh. You know, Kubels don't tend to live long, but you do hope they live longer than, you know, 4.5 minutes. As an Overcommand player, and once they start getting veterancy, you know, they're incredibly useful actually in the mid-game, and indeed the late game if they ever survive that far. So, yeah, bit of a loss there for Barton, and a nice pickup for BreadMarsh. Looks like we've got the Schwervermax Schlepper just coming on out now for Barton. He'll have his pick of Battle Gripper HQ or the Mech Reg, so we'll have to see what he goes for. And it seems like finally, you can see on the mini-map, BreadMarsh getting his ass in gear with regards to capturing on the map. So he's actually going to be building up something of a resource base and some map control. Okay, this is what I thought he was saving the manpower for. So BreadMarsh has actually gone for the airborne company. a lesser spotted, commander pick these days. But anyway, here come the Pathfinders. And remember, these guys function very much like the, pardon me, Jager light infantry that you see out of Overcommand sometimes. They've got one model in the squad who sort of counts like a marksman or is incredibly accurate, I believe. Or is it all of them, actually? Are Pathfinders all of them? No, it's one. Okay, it's this guy here with the scoped Springfield. And that guy can one-hit any infantry model that's under like 75% health. So the closest thing USF will get to a sniper is that squad. Riflemen just taking mixed fights all around the map. Kind of not really trading that well. Actually, this squad doing quite well against these Storm Pioneers. Barton's going to have to fall them back. But these two guys going to have to get out of their Volksgrenadiers in the Church of Destiny there. Going to be more than enough to take that fight. And he's still stacking an awful lot of manpower, is BreadMarsh. He could have had 4 rifle squads this whole time, and it would have been okay, because he's constantly had like a rifle squad's worth of manpower just stacked up here. So I'm not quite sure what the point of this is. Looks like he's going for the 3/4 ton ambulance. That's pretty standard. Captain Tech as well, which is also unsurprising based on how long he saved his fuel for there. And we've now got the beacons coming down, so it looks like he's a relatively seasoned airborne commander. So the beacons, I believe, let's see. So plant a hidden beacon. The beacon reveals nearby enemy units on the minimap. That's very useful. Improves the accuracy of paradrops in the area. That's useful. And allows paratroopers to paradrop reinforce. Now that's incredibly useful. Okay, so something of a game changer, something of a transformational ability, these beacons. And I believe you can have up to three active. Yeah. So you get up to 3. And they are invisible. They can be destroyed by your opponent if he or she detects them. And then shoots them. They're very weak as well. So I just have a sip on my tea here. Now we've got a flak track coming out here, which means, of course, that Barton has gone for his battle group at HQ. That you can see deployed in a relatively forward position, actually. So I quite like this out of Barton. Nicely done. Yep, here comes the flak half-track. Going to be looking for trouble on the double. Now the American player has actually gone ahead and invested in an M1, so he is going to have options here against this half-track. But, oh dear, the half-track gets set up in a lovely position. A lot of riflemen here in negative cover. One of them goes down immediately, 2 of them getting taken out eventually, and they're going to have to fall back here across the open. Captain squad hooning on these Volksgrenadiers on the right flank of the map. Riflemen going to push them away. But Barton has maintained a triple cap now for... well, I don't actually know how long, but definitely for a little while. So he has the American player right now down at 411 under 487 and falling rapidly. Look at the map. Precious little control here for the American player. He's desperately trying to grab his own fuel. The M1AT gun actually finds the half-track, and Barton being a little sluggish to move it. Oh! Wow, the HVAP rounds we used there. Armor-piercing, discarding Sabot rounds, I'm sorry, were used there. But the half-track is going to escape to fight again another day. These riflemen actually in a bit of a pickle here. Getting suppressed still, even though the half-track is long gone. Riflemen and rear echelons ought to be able to push aside these Volks. You'd think, actually, these riflemen aren't quite close enough to ignore the cover. If they could just push up to here, they'd be much better off. Here comes the captain, though, and he does bring that spicy Tommy gun to the fray. And of course, those 2 Zooks are going to have to make this half-track have to keep its head down even further. These Volks taking a real battering, actually. Whoa, Barton leaving it quite late. Yeah, he's going to suffer a squad wipe. That was just too late. He left that fullback, so he's down to 3 squads of Volks now. He was, of course, on 4, and that's actually a bit of a turn-up here. BartonPL's army now notably smaller than that of BreadMarsh. BreadMarsh has a lot more raw power as well. The captain, the 3 squads of riflemen. He's got paratroopers coming out onto the field now, so they're just landing up here in the top left of the map. These guys, of course, pretty beefy, and you can purchase them the Tommy guns if you should like later on. That upgrade is 90 munitions and gives them 4 Tommies. Now here comes the half-track. It finds the captain, actually. Does a number on these riflemen. Masses of damage coming down. Now, of course, the ambulance is in position, so heals are ready in the American base. Stormtroopers here are going to push aside these riflemen. And Barton here just maintaining great control. Although, having said that, actually, BreadMarsh actually is going to grab 2 of the VPs for a moment here. And, he's had some fuel for a little while. Like, not long. Barton has, like, all the fuel in the world. In fact, I would expect to see him grab another Schwer of a Max Schlepper shortly here, with a view to getting his Schwer Panzer HQ online. Paratroopers here, the Tommy guns are actually just finishing right now. There we go, and that's going to enable them to chase these Volksgrenadiers. But here comes a flak half-track. That is what they just did not want to see. That's going to do grievous damage to them, even on the fullback. Rakettenwerfer actually up in the Dream Church. Nice position for that. So that's pretty good. Infantry neutralized! So actually, Barton going to lose his Storm Pioneers. You can see them all here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, Polizei. Who doesn't love that song? Yep, they're all dead. And that is really annoying. He's going to need them to repair his half-track. If it ever takes damage now, he's got an issue repairing them. And remember, those Storm Pioneers, you know, they're an expensive squad. They cost more than Riflemen per squad, you know? Like, they're, what, 320, I believe? Let me just check on the price of Storm Pioneers. Sorry, just 300, but still, damn expensive squad there, and not particularly influential in combat. You know, occasionally good if you can get them on top of your foe. So it's never really manpower that you want to have to spend replacing those. And now the half-track has fallen foul of, I believe, an anti-tank rifle grenade. Its engine ist kaputt. The captain is in der Hause mit zwei Bazooka und das AA Halftrack ist tot. Und das ist nicht so gut for BartonPL. I don't know why. Okay, I'll stop casting in German now. That was probably... Oh my god, anyone out there who actually has any command over that language is probably wincing right now. That was... I know, like, enough German to play with German gamers and, like, communicate my point and things, but it is far, far, far from perfect. I wouldn't even describe it as broken. Anyway, Jager light infantry going to be coming out here, and of course that means that BartonPL has gone ahead and chosen his commander. He's locked in the Scavenge Doctrine, ever popular, and for good reason. It's a very good commander. I think a little underwhelming now, to be honest. I question its value to some extent. I think that there are spicier options these days. Anyway, who am I to argue with Barton, basically? And I suppose, you know, this is Barton. He does like a good sniper, and when he's playing his overcommand, these are, of course, the closest he can get to a sniper, so maybe he just feels very at home with the Jaeger lights. Paratroopers with Tommy guns here, going to run on up and get a lot of damage done here, you have to think. Grenade does come down in a beautiful place, splashing the Volksgrenadiers, getting a star of veterancy onto these paratroopers. So a well-managed fight so far here from BreadMarsh, who's still falling behind. He's still bleeding out at 1 per tick at the moment. Incendiary grenade in a beautiful position. That immediately forces the paratroopers out of that fight. But here comes some 2-star riflemen to replace them. You know, I would love to see a weapon rack research come down for the American player right now. He doesn't quite have the resources, but I think BARs would be a beautiful, beautiful thing against this army here from BartonPL. How is this half-track still alive? My goodness. And he's actually replacing the Storm Pioneers, so they're actually going to be able to... an American unit was wiped out here. I was just trying to work out which one, and a Stuart is now entering the field. But yeah, he's replacing the Storm Pioneers as Barton, so he's going to be able to repair that crippled AA half-track that has been chilling for quite a long time. Here comes the Stuart. Now, it cannot pursue into this Dream Church because the Kettenwerfer is here. He's just going to pursue into the Dream Church. Is he nuts? Kettenwerfer's just going to biff that one, just spank it one right in the face. I mean, that was just kind of a dumb move. Letting that Stuart just go just a few meters too far there. But I mean, these are the things that make the difference. And now that Stuart is only on 2/3 health, which is kind of a liability. He's going to have to spend some time repairing that. Volksgrenadier here, though, getting chased down. Captain's going to stop and take shots, and that is going to be the accuracy he needs. Bang! So picking off another core infantry unit here for Barton. Now, that one wasn't one which had a Panzer IV, so not so bad. He's going to find this damn flak half-track, but the half-track's well set up. Doesn't get killed by the Zook, and is going to force back the captain. I think that the Stuart needs to get over there, and he's going to task that right now. Now, please, please, please tell me he's pathed this correctly. Oh, God, if he comes through here, this is just bad. If he loses the Stuart here, this is just carelessness. This is just carelessness. Oh, BreadMarsh. You know that there's a Rakettenwerfer in this church. You know this. Why would you send the Stuart this way? You have to shift queue up a waypoint up here. That's basic stuff. I'm not very good at this game, but I at least make sure my vehicles tend not to do that. So, I don't know, not very impressed by the way he just, like, subjected himself to another hit from that Rakettenwerfer, which is, you know, again, just feeding the Rakettenwerfer with veterancy. It now does have that one, which ain't nothing. Flak half-track, almost ready to get back in the fray. Barton, I think, quite lucky, really, to still have that one alive. The captain did get a shot on it when it was on a pixel of health with the engine damage, but that shot missed. And that's the difference between that one being alive or not now. BreadMarsh needs to keep an eye on the health of this building. These riflemen have been like, oh, they're just taking grievous amounts of Shrek and Kettenwerfen hits from every direction. That building, there we go, getting quite precarious. The riflemen come out and they will fall back in good time. 300 points, as you just heard from the announcer. The score remaining here for BreadMarsh, so he's increasingly under pressure. He has managed to connect a fuel point for some time. Let me see, he must have spent his monies on some tech, so I just want to quickly have a look here. No, he hasn't. Okay. So I guess that's just the Stewart that was the last dent to come out of his fuel. Now, okay, he's going to find the Halftrack, and the captain is actually in the hood. The Stewart's here as well, so this is looking quite nice here for BreadMarsh. He can hound down this Halftrack. There doesn't appear to be any support in the Neovon. I mean, in the area surrounding. And he actually finds the Schwer Panzer HQ as it deploys. What? And the captain is here. What? And 2 Volks with Shreks, though, circling around to the rear, so the Stewart has to be very careful here. 3 squads of Volks with Shreks, indeed. Stewart is set to target vehicles right now, which is kind of dumb. Is he wondering why it's not firing? Oh, he's going to just manually tell it to a hoon on these guys. Oh, God, there we go. Now he turns it off. But now all of the Shreks are here. This is way too late. He's going to lose the Stewart. Oh, no. Wow. Why did these Volk squads fall back? Captain inflicting grievous damage here onto the Schwer Panzer HQ. The Stewart chips in another shot, but has to get out of there. This Shrek is the real deal. And the Stewart is very, very, very wounded. Oh, he loses the captain, and a Zook is dropped. That's immediately picked up by Barton. So a really nice pickup there. A literal nice pickup. And there are a couple of these air beacons down in the south here, just providing intel and reinforcement for airborne units. So that's pretty useful there for BreadMarsh. BreadMarsh doing really well. Look at this. He actually has Barton down to 3 squads of Volks, a squad of Jager Lights, and a squad of, you know, Storm Pioneers. That is not a very good army for the 17-minute mark.
We're losing a capture point.
And you know, 3 squads of riflemen. They must be coming up for 3 stars. One of them is. Yeah, they are coming up for 3 stars vet by and large. And, you know, at 3 stars vet, these riflemen are, like, absolutely sinister. They don't want to take this fight, though. Jaeger Lights are going to pick them to shreds at this range, and the Volks Grenadiers provide the body to just absorb the damage there. More rifles going to be... This is what I mean. If he had weapon racks, he could so bully his way through here. I would love to see him purchase the weapon racks research. He does actually have the cash. He just actually, you know what, he has nowhere near enough munitions, and there's a Panzer IV coming. That Panzer IV is going to be some issues here. The only real AT that can answer it is this M1 AT gun. And if you look at the map, it's actually going to be quite hard for that AT gun to acquire said Panzer IV in its sights, really. As these riflemen are going to try and take back the mid-VP here. BreadMarsh doing quite well at rallying the VPs. You can see he has both the west and the east VP, now trying to take the central one. It's not going to stick, though. Just too many units and too many good buildings. These Jaeger Lights actually have been doing really well. 10 kills on them. And they find themselves in a fantastic building as well, loitering up here in the church. Captain's going to be replaced here, and I do like this choice. That's going to give him a lot more game against the Panzer IV. If he's listening very keenly, he will be able to hear it entering the field.
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture points.
As I take a sip on my tea. Now, what do paratroopers get for their veterancy bonuses? Abilities recharge quicker. Interesting. Improves grenade range, weapon accuracy, and enables them to heal while out of combat. Very useful. And finally, increases squad survivability and weapon control under fire. So, now, I mean, the reason I'm looking at all these veterancy abilities with, you know, almost with fresh eyes, is because, you know, they have actually all been fixed. So these infantry veterancies now have effect, which means, you know, those paratroopers are going to be quite the force to be reckoned with once they do start vetting up. M1 AT gun, though, is in a nice position. This Panzer IV is probably going to take a shot here. No? Wow, he actually manages to get it. Oh my god, it's not set to target vehicles, so it's just firing at these Jaeger Lights. That is dire. That's actually so bad. I guess he wants to bring this building down. Oh no, the M1's going to get hung out to dry, though. Here comes a load of infantry, and if this M1 goes down, that really does open the door for this Panzer IV to do yet more damage. And yeah, he's going to just pick up the... Oh, that is dire. And now I imagine we'll see the force fire here to take it out. Ba-bang, there we go. No chance of a recrew there. Captain comes in with the Zooks, gets some nice hits on the Panzer IV, but it's not going to be enough. And he's getting hewn down, needs to come down for a retreat here. One model here being falling back, and Barton's very smart. He's actually priority targeting down that Captain model. That will for sure go down. The Jaeger Lights are pivoting to take the shot. He has to go... Oh my goodness. BreadMarsh is going to get that Captain out of there. Amazing. Somehow the rifleman manages to connect with a anti-vehicle rifle grenade, so the engine is broken on that Panzer IV, and it's not in the best of locations. Where's the Stuart? The Stuart was taking fights over on the left of the map over here. Manages to kill the Storm Pioneers, I believe. Some Storm Pioneers have died, so Barton's having to replace them. And yeah, comes back in here with the Stuart. Now, I believe this Panzer IV has still got too much health for the Stuart to come in and use all of its annoying anti-vehicle abilities and just try and kill it from the rear armor. That Panzer IV still has too much health for that to be an option. And another M1 is now on the field, so yeah, this is, you know, I'm actually amazed at how well BreadMarsh is looking in this game. He is actually looking really good now. If he can just get this bloody cutoff point, he'd even have some fuel income as well. So, kind of wants to, I mean, he's just, it's almost like he doesn't care for fuel, you know? And who am I to argue with him? He's making this work with his core infantry squads very nicely, as you do have the luxury of doing with American forces, you know? Especially when you play against Overcommand, who don't have access to an LMG, or any real form of suppression. I mean, Barton tried it with the flak half-track, but I mean, you know, saying that the Overcommand have suppression because they have the flak half-track is, I don't know, I don't know, it's like saying that the Soviets have good tanks because they have the IS-2. It's like, it's kind of true, but not really. Anyway, now let's see. Was that the sound of it? Oh, okay. I thought I just... No, okay. Oh, nice grenade comes down, doing minimal damage though. 3 stars of vet on these Jager lights. Look at them. These are fights that Jager lights will take for days. Fights that Jager lights will take. In spite of the American efforts here, it is a delight to watch. So yeah, they're just kind of pushing forwards, taking names, kicking ass. They have a lot of kills as well. 16 and 1. Okay, so not that many kills. But 16 is pretty respectable for a squad of Jager lights. I mean, DPS is not a Jager lights like specialty. Ha! Look at these. Look at these Pathfinders just hiding over here. Ah, Barton knows. Oh, why do they keep decamoing? That's a touch awkward. So, looks like Barton's going to grab the West VP and he's going to take back mid. Looks like BreadMarsh has finally managed to grab back his capture point, his cutoff point here. So his fuel income, yay, it's up from 10 to a relatively luxurious 26 right now. And I would like to see what his choices are going to be. I mean, fuel is going to be important. It's going to let him get weapon racks, which for the love of God, please get weapon racks. Just get them, please, BreadMarsh. It'll make me so happy. I know you don't really have the munitions to buy the guns, but you have enough munitions to get like 1 or 2. It'll just make me happy. Please do it. Well, Jager lights here actually outstaying their welcome in the face of a number of rifleman squads, and it looks like BreadMarsh going to try and take the mid here. Stuart gets wasted though. It gets wasted up here in the north. Panzer IV, I imagine, more than happy to snap that one up. Captain near, but just too late to score any hits, and that Panzer IV is actually looking like such a smart choice right now. With the Stuart down, it's even easier to use it. Paratroopers here doing what they can, now up to 3 stars, so horrendously dangerous, these guys. But oh, the Panzer IV can crush them here. Oh, tried for. So the Panzer IV is going to force those paratroopers back. The Storm Pioneers likewise forced back, and this means that BreadMarsh again has 2-to-1 victory points. Now he finds himself at he's at 271 right now, under 379. So about 108 tickets the difference right now in this game. Barton here not looking nearly as fluent as I'm used to seeing him, you know. He's been dropping a number of squads. It looks like he has actually been struggling a little bit, you know. BreadMarsh is putting up a real game here, you know. He's not even behind by that much. Barton undoubtedly winning right now. Whoa, these riflemen need to get out. They're so low. Panzer IV is going to try for the squad wipe here. Just going to pursue and bully. Looks like it gets distracted onto the captain, as it has to, because he's the man with the Zooks. So the riflemen are going to escape. This Panzer IV is going to force back a number of units. Now here comes some Volksgrenadiers to capitalize. They're going to take the Dream House and start taking all these points. They could even salvage the Strudelwagen over here. In the south, Volks additionally pushing. BreadMarsh actually looking real bad right now. A lot of his squads are falling back and not combat ready. Oh, dearie me, this could be dire, actually. There's so many Axis units, it feels like, pushing right the way across the map, even though Barton's army is relatively small. Really nice stuff. Oh, the Jager lights just beating these paratroopers around now. Oh, where is this gun going? Oh my god, if Jager lights got beaten about, imagine what's going to happen to this AT gun if the Jager lights catch it. And remember, the line of sight on those Jager lights is really nice. They will know that that AT gun was there if Barton was paying attention. Seemingly Barton just wants that building not to be a thing anymore, so he's going to use the infiltration grenade package to level it. And he's taken the cut-off point again. Now, BreadMarsh has spent some fuel. What's he getting? Seriously, where's his fuel going? Oh god, the American base is just an absolute nightmare to figure out where the fuel is going. Like, you don't see on the build queue them unlocking tech, which is kind of on the build queue because it's kind of like squads. And you also don't see on the build queue like weapon racks and grenade package upgrades, and just like the Americans can just kind of sneak their fuel away, and you as a caster just are like, oh, what? I like to think I'm getting better at it, but I actually just can't discern where like that fuel has gone. He's definitely... Oh, okay, he's gotten himself a major. He's got himself a major. There we go. There's a major. Right. Figured it out. Warned you I was feeling a bit under the weather today. I'll blame that. This M1AT gun is going to die for show here. Jaeger lights are just supreme marksmen. They're not going to miss these guys. Blah! There we go. Blah! Actually just mowing them both down. Totally brutal. Here comes a load of riflemen, but the Panzer IV is here for the backstab. Not something you can often say, but that is going to be the case here. Arrgh! Even crushing a few of these riflemen. The engine damage comes down, though, owing to the anti-tank rifle grenade, and the captain is near... Where is the captain? Okay, the captain's in the base, so he is not in the hood ready to take advantage of this Panzer IV, which means that this Panzer IV is going to escape. It's going to grab itself 2 stars of veterancy very soon. And Barton now just looks in command of this game. I'm not really sure what BreadMarshLivePlace can do. I mean, he's actually quite pushed on manpower. He's gonna buy a Jackson. Okay. All right, I quite like the Jackson actually. That will handily answer a Panzer IV, and it means next time the Panzer IV's engine gets broken like this, it should not escape. Assuming that he can protect his Jackson against the large numbers of Volks with Shreks. And, you know, I'm looking at the tech here for Barton. He does have every building. I didn't cover this, but he has established his mech reg in this location here. And that is worrisome for Barton. Sorry, it's worrisome for BreadMarsh. I'm wondering what the correct choice is. Like, a Werferman would undoubtedly look good, but I kind of think that a Panther is better. But then again, I almost can't conceive of a time where I wouldn't tell you a Panther is better, actually. I'm just that much of a Panther enthusiast. But anyway, another Panzer IV is actually very reasonable. Another Panzer IV is actually a really nice choice in a way. The booby trap here being laid by the Jaeger light infantry, going to blastificate all of these Americans. Blastification in the nation. And somehow, actually, BreadMarsh grabs the west and the east victory points again. This lucky Pathfinder here, he's going to try and get a fallback here, but 2 squads of Jaeger lights, one of which at 4-star, picks him down. No chance there for a retreat. No reprieve. The Jackson's here, and it is set to prioritize vehicles, and it does do some very good damage to that Panzer IV. He's got to be careful with it, though, because if the Shrek Volks find it, then things are going to be bad. Panzer IV here going to repair. Looks like Barton has no interest in purchasing a Panther tank, so I can only assume this means he's going for the incredibly boring, lumbering blob of force that is the liability / heavy tank, the King Tiger. Yes. Still not a fan of that unit. You know, I actually played some... like, because I'm a caster now, I don't really get that much time to play. Like, actually just sit back and play Company of Heroes. But I did actually have an opportunity to play a 2v2 yesterday with my good friend Rap Hunter. In that game, it was one of those crazy 2v2s on Semioski Winter that came down to us with a King Tiger and an Elephant. Just kind of garrisoning the mid. That was a... God, I haven't played, by the way, in so long. I have suffered so much, by the way. I'm so rusty. I was playing and, like, I lost my first Panther through, like, the most heinously bad circumstances ever. Sorry, I realise I'm drifting and not talking about the game here, but there is a quiet moment. Yeah, I lost my first Panther, like, in the most noobish of ways. God, it was so wince-worthy. I just... Ugh. Anyway, I need to play more Company of Heroes 2, basically. I can, like, the old skills are there, but I'm just a tad rusty, I think. Anyway, looks like the Dream Church here going to be the subject of an American assault as he attempts to take mid here, does BreadMarsh. Now, west and east have fallen to Barton. The Jackson is here in a reasonable position, but the Panzer IV is all the way over here on the flank, actually. Oh no, the 3-star... Oh, the 3-star paratroopers! Oh, wow, that hit him right in the head, that shot from the Volksgrenadier there. You don't want to mess with a K98K, buddy. That was just bang. Wow, just kind of... Wow, that was a great shot. Yeah, it was a good enough shot as well to shoot BreadMarshLivePlace out of this game. He's going to choose this moment to GG, and who can blame him? I think he is right now soundly defeated. Despite losing, hemorrhaging quite a few units throughout the game, Barton was able to actually accumulate a lot of veterancy over a lot of squads, and that is very intimidating. And as the American player, I mean, I think if there was genuine money on the line, you wouldn't GG at this point. You know, this force here is still somewhat capable, and you know, BreadMarshLivePlace's chance of winning this game were definitely not like, you know, they weren't even sub 10%. You know, I think he was probably like, you know, down to 20% odds or something like that to win this game, something like that. He was pretty far behind. But yeah, he's going to choose this moment to GG. I dare say he might have heard of BartonPL as well, so he might have thought, damn it, gave it a good shot, but I'm now so far behind, I don't think I can come back against a player of Barton's caliber. So anyway, yeah, that brings this video to a conclusion. I hope you guys don't mind the fact that I'm kind of coughing and sniffling, and I don't actually have a mute button on this mic anymore, which is a big shame. I used to be able to just mute all of that stuff, but I might look into trying to find some sort of hardware / workaround mute or something like that. And I also hope that you don't mind that my voice is like clearly a tad rough on account still of me being ill. I will try to get better as soon as possible. I'll have to consult with my immune system, get a status report, and see how things are going down there. And yeah, just hopefully get rid of this cold. But yeah, of course, I will keep casting as long as I'm able. And yeah, stay tuned for more videos coming in the very near future. For now, of course, this is Magpie842 signing out.